So let's take a look at the instructions for the first module assignment. This is in the Quiz 1 module. So you're going to listen to Chapter 12, the Chapter 12 PowerPoint, and you can access with that using PowerPoint, or you can access it using YouTube. And the purpose of this assignment is to consider the four perspectives related to observation information collected regarding individual children described in Chapter 12. Carefully follow the directions, and this is worth 24 points. And you can find examples of this format used with observations on page 223 to 225 of the textbook. And so the first thing you're going to do is go to some pages more towards the beginning of the book, and on page 47 read the observation titled Wrestling the Wind. And then secondly, you're going to go to page 49 and read the observation Anthony and the Paintbrush. Then we're going to use those observations to look at four perspectives through which we might view those observations. So using the format that's on page 221 of your text in the section titled Consider the Story from Different Perspectives, create a separate four perspective to consider table for each of the two observations. So you're going to have two tables, one for Anthony and the Paintbrush and the other for Wrestling the Wind. Make sure to include information for all of the perspectives. You may need to make your best guess regarding some questions, as it may not be directly provided in the observation documentation. So for some of the questions, it might not directly say information from that perspective, but you can make your best guess in regards to that. And there's 10 points possible for each table, 20 points total. So if you don't fill anything in for that perspective, you won't be able to get points for it. Include all of the columns and the questions for each column in your two tables. Number the questions in each of the perspectives. So the four perspectives are the child's story, the learning and development story, the teacher's story, and the family's story. And so for the child's story, the first one, there are 6 questions. And you're going to answer those 6 questions for Wrestling the Wind and for Anthony and the Paintbrush. The second perspective is the learning and development story. And there are 8 questions in that one, and you want to answer all 8 for each table. For question 7 in this column, schema theory is the idea that the child is exploring. So talk about if the child is exploring. For question 8 in this column, make sure to describe each of the 6 learning domains the chapter describes in your answer. So talk about all 6 domains, not just 1 or 2. The third perspective is the teacher's story, and answer the 7 questions for that perspective for each of the observations. And then finally, the family story, and answer the 4 questions for each table. So if you have further questions, make sure that you email those questions to me in the Canvas inbox. And it's a good idea to start this early so that you'll be sure to have plenty of time to ask questions and get an answer and still turn your assignment in on time.